Mandalorian Season 3 is just 2 days away. It seems like years since The Mandalorian Season 2 was at this point. Oh wait, it's been almost 2.5 years. The Mandalorian culture is my favorite in all of Star Wars. While I enjoy the stories of Jedi and Sith, the Mandalorians are something different. They aren't superpowered beings who can save a galaxy or destroy it with the help of a mystical force. They are normal people, highly trained, with faults and attributes. They're both heroes and villains all in the same character. Characters like Boba Fett, Din Djarin, Bo-Katan Kryze, and Pre Vizsla have proven they all seem to have their own version of what's best for Mandalore and its people. In fact, these individuals' ideas oftentimes result in war and a chipping away of the Mandalorian culture and society. War is all they know. Boba Fett knows it's better for him to stay away from other Mandalorians. Din Djarin is just learning what it means to be part of a larger culture, outside of his own covert, the Children of the Watch.
Wait, Gerald, isn't he 40-something years old? How is he just learning about the greater Mandalorian culture?
Well, Belinda, I think we'll find out soon enough. Can I get back to it now?
Yeah, go ahead. Just hurry it up. I have pizza coming.
Food. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Anyways, the Mandalorians seek their own power, but still use the premise of keeping the Mandalorians' warrior culture intact. We all know this stuff, whether you're a die-hard Star Wars fan or you just like the cute stuff that Grogu does. You can't help but learn a little about Mandalorian lore and culture. I know I'm rambling a bit, so sorry for that. I'm just excited for The Mandalorian Season 3. So today, I want to talk about some things that The Mandalorian's latest season could bring to the table, as far as lore, history, possible appearances, who shouldn't be in The Mandalorian Season 3, and even a question of what we think may happen to The Bad Batch Season 2 when The Mandalorian airs this Wednesday. Before I go on with The Mandalorian Season 3 appearances and the effect it could have on The Bad Batch, a quick word from our sponsor, me. Hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. I'm on a quest to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'd like you all to be a part of that journey. I know you hear it from every other YouTube channel, but hey, this is freaking Star Wars, baby. Who doesn't love Star Wars? I know you do. And I promise to give you the best Star Wars has to offer in a positive way for as long as I make videos. In other words, I keeps it real for a very long time. With that said, let's get on with today's topics. With the launch of the Disney Plus streaming service came their initial flagship show, The Mandalorian. It was released during a time when the Star Wars fandom was not at its best. Solo, a Star Wars story, had tanked in the box office. The Last Jedi had disappointed many fans, and The Rise of Skywalker was about a month away from release. It seemed like it was a dark time. Like anything branded as Star Wars was doomed to get the same treatment as the films that had been released under Disney ownership. But it didn't. Fans loved The Mandalorian, and that in itself was a breath of fresh air. It isn't a surprise when you think back on it. These were all new characters with a new story that, if done carefully, it could add to the current Star Wars lore and not take away from it, and add to the lore it did.
Gerald, Belinda said to get on with it. Why are you stalling?
Great, now you're ganging up on me, Craig. I'm not stalling. I'm giving new viewers an idea as to why I'm so excited for The Mandalorian Season 3.
Okay, whatever, just get it going. Belinda promised me a slice of her pizza.
Moving on. Since the first season of The Mandalorian, we've had another season and a season of the Boba Fett-centric series, aptly named The Book of Boba Fett. The latter being less enjoyable to some fans than the former. A lot of people didn't like The Book of Boba Fett. But The Book of Boba Fett did have some highlights that should be carried over into The Mandalorian Season 3 and beyond. For one, and this is a tongue-in-cheek suggestion, I know it won't happen, but give Boba Fett 2 episodes of The Mandalorian. It's only right. and maybe make his character more in line with what was in the expanded universe and the recent comics, as it's probably a given that Boba Fett will show up in The Mandalorian Season 3 in some capacity. Let's see him closer to what he was in The Mandalorian Season 2. But with the reintroduction of Boba Fett should come Fennec Shand. Now, I know a lot of people don't like her, but she is Boba Fett's most trusted advisor, and it would only make sense to have a Fennec Shand cameo. Then there's another aspect of the Book of Boba Fett that I really enjoyed. Black Chrysanthemum, or just Chrysanthemum as he's being called now. I know it seems difficult to add this character into The Mandalorian, but I'm not talking about having him rip the arms off a Trandoshan. Just have him appear in the show so we don't think he's being forgotten about, and there may be another series that shows Chrysanthemum in a larger capacity. Hint, The Book of Boba Fett Season 2. Hint, hint. But Chrysanthemum had some great moments in the Star Wars comic series as well. Well, just about all the newer comic series, really. And I think he'd fit well as a fixture in the Mandalorian universe beyond a hired gun for Boba Fett. And that brings me to the final character I think should be a shoo-in for The Mandalorian Season 3 from the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian Season 2. And that is Cobb Vanth. We know we're returning to Tatooine. We've seen Peli Motto in the trailers. Cobb Vanth is also on Tatooine, presumably running at least Freetown still, maybe even Mos Espa if Boba Fett handed it over to him. And for goodness sakes, get the man some armor. He did well with running off the Red Key Mining Company and enjoyed many years of not getting hurt. The moment they took away his armor, BAM! Shot by Cad Bane and nearly killed. It wouldn't have been as bad if he had Mandalorian armor. Just saying. Let Cobb Vanth take the creed and wear the armor. Going back to Tatooine, yet again, also opens up the possibility to bring back the other characters I had mentioned before. Speaking of Peli Motto, do you think she'll be enjoying a life in her hangar with her new droids and a new bow? Namely, Mayor Mok Shais's Major Domo. Just a thought. Let me know what you think. Okay, moving away from the Book of Boba Fett characters and into a character I would like to see return in The Mandalorian, and that is Miggs Mayfeld. He proved to be a real asset to Din Djarin and even had knowledge of the inner workings of the Empire. He's presumably wandering the galaxy and trying to play dead. I realize that there are only 8 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 3, and it'll feel forced to get all these characters in, especially if they are only 30 to 40-minute episodes. But it can be done. And there are other characters I think should be brought into The Mandalorian Season 3. Ahsoka Tano with a warning of a greater threat than anything the Imperial Remnant has to offer, and that threat being the Grisk. Sabine Wren. She's a Mandalorian and was the one who gave Bo-Katan the Darksaber, only for Bo-Katan to lose it to Moff Gideon. Okay, I've named a slew of characters that should show up in The Mandalorian Season 3. Now for some that shouldn't show up. Okay, just one. Luke Skywalker. His story with Din Djarin and Grogu finished. It's time to let him go off and start his Jedi Academy, which has nothing to do with Mandalorians for the time being. I think Mandalorians can handle the trouble that they're facing with interfaction wars or whatever. But there may be a time to bring him back in the Ahsoka Tano series, when the Grisk Wars may be in full swing. Maybe. But for now, let's give Skywalkers a rest. Let's see something not connected to them. It's a big galaxy. Before I move on to what The Mandalorian airing in the middle of the Bad Batch Season 2 may mean for the Bad Batch itself, let's discuss something. Something that fans are quick to defend when I ask them about it. How the hell is Din Djarin in his 40s and seems to know nothing about Mandalorian lore, culture, or history? In the new trailer, he talks about what it means to be a Mandalorian, that it isn't just about learning to fight. It's also about navigating the galaxy, meaning he knows how to navigate the galaxy. How has he never run into other Mandalorians and learned more about his creed and the history of the people he so desperately wants to appease? He knows nothing of the Darksaber. He knows nothing of who the actual leaders of Mandalore are or were. He knew nothing of the Purge of Mandalore. Didn't he ever question why they were in hiding? I'm not saying it's bad writing. I just think he's too well traveled to not hear something about any of those things. I mean, how many of you are going to join a cult without knowing the history of it? Even if you were taken in when you were young, wouldn't you have questions? Maybe that's just me, though. All right, sorry for getting riled up there. Whew. I just hope it gets some answers. Moving on yet again. With The Bad Batch Season 2 more than halfway over, for a lot of Star Wars fans, it's been mediocre at best. I'm still enjoying it, but are a lot of people going to abandon it when The Mandalorian Season 3 airs on the same day as The Bad Batch? For me, I get up at 3 a.m. to watch The Bad Batch. Then I try to get a video done reviewing the episode before I have to head off for work. Watching two shows in the same time span is going to be nearly impossible. So with The Mandalorian Culture being my favorite, guess which show will have to wait until after work? Then a review will come the next morning. Maybe. It really depends on how much more interesting The Mandalorian will be than The Bad Batch Season 2. With the time constraints that I have, is it going to be the same for other Star Wars fans? Are they going to watch The Mandalorian as soon as it airs, then watch The Bad Batch whenever they get a chance? I'm not suggesting that anyone should do this. It's just a question, really. Let me know in the comments what your plans are for watching both shows. I'm still going to watch and enjoy The Bad Batch. It just won't be at 3 a.m. Unless The Mandalorian Season 3 absolutely sucks, which I don't see being the case at all. Are there characters I missed? Who should return in The Mandalorian? I omitted Bo-Katan Kryze, Paz Vizsla, and the Armorer for a reason. We know they will be there. They're in the trailers. But who would you like to see? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Do you think the Grisk are going to be a threat? If not in Season 3, then eventually maybe? I'll see you all Wednesday. I really can't wait, and I hope you're all as excited as I am. And again, a word from our sponsor, me. Hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. I'm on a journey to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'd like you all to be a part of the next phase of this channel. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, and positivity in the Star Wars fandom is the only way. Craig, Belinda, you guys really shouldn't interrupt me. That's just rude.
Well, we wanted pizza.
I get that, but wait. Where did you get pizza? I didn't buy any.
Delivery.
Craig, you don't have any money.
We used your card. What?